Outside the Plunderer's Guild building in Bangsu Castle, a constant stream of people passed by. Hyrkan wasted no time, heading straight into the familiar room where Ahimbri was engrossed in his studies amidst towering piles of books. The sudden sound of footsteps made Ahimbri startle and look up. Hyrkan stood there, clothes disheveled and dusty, but his eyes remained sharp. He spoke, breaking the silence. "I've returned stronger, as you requested." Ahimbri was momentarily bewildered, then exclaimed in astonishment, "Oh, you're finally back. What on earth happened? Why do you look like a homeless person?" Hyrkan smirked, a mischievous look on his face. "Whose fault do you think this is?" Ahimbri let out a dry laugh. "Ha ha ha. All right, give me my reward," Hyrkan said impatiently. "Very well, here is the promised reward," Ahimbri replied, his expression turning serious again. He subtly flicked his fingers, and a book radiating a mystical blue light slowly materialized in midair before flying towards Hyrkan. The moment Hyrkan touched the book, a series of system notifications appeared before his eyes. "You have completed the quest, Ahimbri's Tutelage 2. You have received skill book, Osteology." Hyrkan froze, his eyes wide with surprise. Osteology? This is a super rare necromancer skill that can't be found on the market. A detailed skill information window appeared. Proficiency, F. Stats of all summoned skeletons increased by 5%. Mana cost to summon and maintain skeletons reduced by 10%. You can summon an additional 1 skeleton. Hyrkan's heart pounded in his chest. He silently cheered in delight. "This is exactly what I need, mana cost reduction."
Hyrkan was immersed in joy. "And here's another item," Ahimbri said, his voice even. He extended his hand, revealing a ring emanating menacing dark purple magic floating above his palm. "This is the Ring of the Fallen Pursuer. I used the fallen stone you brought back to create it, so you can wield the power of the fallen yourself." Information about the item, Ring of the Fallen Pursuer, appeared before Hyrkan's eyes, a unique chronicle-grade item with astonishing bonus stats. Hyrkan froze, his eyes fixed on the treasure. "Rit," he stammered, speechless. For a moment, his mind reeled. The Ring of the Fallen Pursuer? Isn't this a ring only for those who first complete the main storyline? His face flushed red, saliva almost dripping from his mouth as he realized the item's unimaginable value. Unable to contain his overwhelming excitement, Hyrkan lunged forward, grabbing Ahimbri's hands in an outburst of emotion. Thank you, sir."
Hyrkan looked at Ahimbri bewildered. The NPC, with a pensive expression, suddenly turned around and said, "On second thought, I can't just hand this over to you." Hyrkan was stunned, not understanding what was happening. What? In a blink, Ahimbri spun around and fled, a mischievous smile on his lips. "Catch me if you can." The surprise on Hyrkan's face quickly faded, replaced by a chillingly delighted smile. He chuckled, "Ha ha, this old man. You're dead when I catch you." A surge of dark energy with mesmerizing blue flames erupted around Hyrkan. He shot forward with terrifying speed, an expression of extreme exhilaration, sending papers and books flying. The chase ended as quickly as it began. A loud crash echoed as Hyrkan lunged, pinning Ahimbri to the floor. Papers scattered in the air as his hand decisively pressed down, neatly concluding the game.
Having just escaped the messy room, Hyrkan panted, bracing himself against the rough rock face, trying to regain his breath. The sunset dyed the ancient fortress in the distance gold. He mumbled in frustration, "What's wrong with that crazy old man? Is that really a grand mage? If he weren't an NPC, I'd have skewered him long ago." However, no matter how eccentric the NPC Ahimbri was, Hyrkan had to admit that the recent encounter wasn't entirely useless. He recalled the scene inside, when Ahimbri lay sprawled on a chest amidst a chaotic pile of books and assigned him a new quest. "But anyway, I did get the ring and the next quest from him," Hyrkan murmured to himself. Ahimbri's words still echoed in his ears. "I suddenly lost contact with an agent named Miggy. I think you should go check out Tsuruyu Castle." A determined glint flickered in Hyrkan's eyes. He pulled up his collar, his voice deepening. "All right, I'll let him off the hook this time." Hyrkan began to walk, outlining his next plan in his head. The Tsuruyu Castle area is quite high level, so maybe I should grind more on the way there. While deep in thought, Hyrkan suddenly stopped. "Huh?" A blue virtual envelope icon abruptly appeared from the watch on his wrist. It was an urgent message from Romeni. "Hyrkan, urgent news. I just uploaded the Golden Skeleton video to YTube, and I think you should watch it immediately." Without hesitation, Hyrkan accessed YTube. A virtual screen appeared before his eyes. The video, titled Warlord, the Lone Emperor, had attracted an unbelievable number, 2.35 million views. Below, the comment section exploded with praise. Amazing! A 20-minute video that felt like it ended in a flash. Absolutely insane, so many classic moments. What on earth is happening? Truly legendary. A 10,000 won donation notification appeared with the message, "Please keep posting more videos."
Innumerable donation notifications filled with glowing praise and generous sums continuously popped up, finally culminating in a colossal figure displayed before Hyrkan's eyes. Total income $1 billion. Hyrkan's blue eyes widened, staring dumbfounded at the virtual screen emanating from the device on his wrist. He blurted out in utter bewilderment, "What the hell is this?" The immense shock made the young man recoil, stumbling backwards onto the barren, rocky ground. He propped himself up amidst the desolate landscape, jagged cliffs under the faint light of dusk. His gaze still fixed on the number on his wrist, Hyrkan began to mumble, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 zeros. The initial stupor gradually faded, giving way to a slow smile spreading across his lips. His eyes gleamed with satisfaction and longing. A single word escaped his mouth, encapsulating all his upcoming plans: tomahawk. Instantly, the image of a premium tomahawk steak, juicy red and glistening, brilliantly appeared in his mind.
In Hyrkan's mind, a magnificent feast vividly unfolded. Premium cuts of beef hovered before his eyes, from tenderloin, sirloin to ribeye. A cascade of endless, enticing delicacies flowed. Rib steaks, brisket, short ribs, beef stew, steak tartare, sushi, galbi, and even luxuries like otoro tuna, lobster, botan shrimp, and caviar. His eyes glowed with pure joy, his hands clenched in extreme excitement. "Now I can eat any delicious dish I want," Hyrkan exclaimed inwardly. His delight quickly transformed into a cold, triumphant smile. He clenched his fist, his mind swirling with calculations. How could this be such a big hit? I knew there'd be a good reaction, but not to this extent. Or did someone post it elsewhere? Amidst the desolate landscape of the virtual world, Hyrkan shook his head to clear away fanciful thoughts. Now isn't the time for this. I need to log out and… Suddenly, a ding sound rang out. A blue interface appeared from the watch on his wrist. Hyrkan stared in astonishment at the screen. His video, The Emperor Solo Play, had reached 235 million views. Below, a prominent comment showed a donation of 1 million won from the recruitment manager of the Thunder Hunters Guild. "Hello, Mr. Hyrkan of the Haho Mask. I have messaged you several times without a response, so I'm leaving a comment here. The Thunder Hunters Guild officially wishes to recruit you into our guild. Could you please spare some time to discuss this matter?" Hyrkan's entire body stiffened, astonishment overwhelming his mind. The Thunder Hunters Guild wants to recruit him?
Hyrkan frowned, an unpleasant thought surfacing in his mind. Thunderbolt Hunter Guild? Isn't that where that woman Chae Seolyeon is? Veins popped on his temple, his face darkening with annoyance. Memories of his previous life suddenly flooded back. He recalled their persistent and haunting pursuit, Chae Seolyeon's image with her authoritative eyes commanding, "Join my party," and his curt reply, "No." Immediately after was the chaotic scene of her entire guild chasing him, yelling, "Join our party," while he ran for his life, shouting back, "I don't want to, you bastards." Back in reality, amidst the desolate canyon, Hyrkan gritted his teeth. Are they still as persistent as leeches, just like in my previous life? Get lost. Even if I die, I will never join the Thunderbolt Hunter Guild, he roared in anger. His rage suddenly halted. A cold drop of sweat trickled down Hyrkan's temple as he recognized something strangely familiar. Huh? Now that I think about it, I seem to have said exactly this before. How incredibly annoying. The memory image resurfaced, Hyrkan grumbling irritably. Why does she have to be so stubborn when I've refused countless times already? Besides, I already have a guild. It's maddening.
Somewhere deep in the jungle, the flickering flame from the dry firewood was the only source of light. His friends, who had betrayed Hyrkan in his past life, spoke. "You're really lucky," he began, his voice a mix of admiration and something undefinable. "The Thunder Hunters Guild is one of the strongest guilds, even in the top 30. Their guild leader is the daughter of a wealthy family, so once you join, a six-figure salary is almost guaranteed. I guess it's natural for them to target someone like Jaehyun because you're so good at the game. In all the raid videos our guild has uploaded, every comment only talks about you. Honestly, you're too good for us." "Stop it," Hyrkan snapped, cutting off his friend, annoyance clear on his face. The initial surprise was quickly replaced by irritation. He stood up abruptly, his determined gaze fixed on his teammate. "Six-figure salary or whatever, I'm not joining the Thunder Hunters Guild. Money will come when we become the strongest guild, so why should I leave? I'd rather keep playing in my current guild." Hyrkan's firm declaration startles his friend, who quickly lowered his head, avoiding his gaze. The atmosphere around the fire suddenly grew heavy, a suffocating silence, leaving only the crackling of the fire amidst the pervasive tension.
At the betrayer's complacent smile, a bitter memory suddenly flooded Hyrkan's mind. He bowed his head, his hand unconsciously rising to cup his forehead as the past image vividly resurfaced. "Now that I think about it, ever since then—" "But you didn't have to stab me for it," he mumbled, his voice lost amidst the desolate scenery of his recollection, where he had fallen on barren ground. The silence was broken by a dry smack. Hyrkan slapped himself hard across the face, the sharp pain pulling his mind back to reality. He shook his head, chasing away the negative thoughts. "That's right. Now is not the time to go crazy over money," he told himself, his eyes sharpening with determination. With a decisive movement, Hyrkan sprang up, standing tall on the stony ground. He clenched his fists, a powerful new vitality surging within him. "I'll use all this money. I still have so much to do. It's too soon to be satisfied."
A fierce surge of blue magical energy swelled, and Hyrkan summoned the skeleton warriors. As the blue light faded, Hyrkan stood tall before his soldiers, his sharp gaze sweeping across their formation. Memories of the failed Golden Skeleton King raid resurfaced, filling him with anger. He growled, "You all know full well that in the Golden Skeleton King raid, I had to handle everything by myself, you bastards. Today we will start training again. We need to practice efficient movement. We cannot repeat what happened last time. Can you do that?" His question hung in the air, full of pressure and challenge. This very harshness, almost cruel, brought back a bitter memory. In that instant, the desolate scene vanished, replaced by an image from the past. His betraying friend smiled falsely, extending a hand to him. He spoke in a seemingly caring tone. "Jaehyun, everyone's tired. Why don't we rest a bit? Do we really have to do all this? You know, we're different from you." Those words, like an invisible blade, had once cut into his heart, and now they became the driving force for him to push himself and his skeletal warriors to their ultimate limits.
Amidst the desolate landscape bathed in twilight, Hyrkan's skeleton army simultaneously gave a thumbs up, their empty eye sockets glowing with excitement. Hyrkan's eyes gleamed with determination, a confident smirk on his lips. He thought to himself, "That's right, this time things will be different," before speaking aloud, "Let's go, to become the strongest." Led by their master, the skeleton group charged forward with burning vigor, dust kicking up with every step. Hyrkan abruptly stopped, turned to his army, and announced with a radiant smile, "All right, our next destination is Tsuruyu Castle. We should get a little training in on the way, shouldn't we?" Hearing the words training, the dry skeletons trembled, their bones clattering together. Amused by their reaction, Hyrkan smirked, his hand beginning to gather a mystical blue energy. "The training will be simple. We'll just run all the way there."
Hyrkan flashed a cold, excited smile. He yelled at the skeletal army running ahead, "If any of you fall behind, you'll be whipped. Ah ha ha, wait for me, boys!" Upon hearing the command, the entire skeleton army trembled, then ran frantically. Behind them, Hyrkan cheerfully pursued his terrified subordinates. The whole group traversed treacherous hills, heading straight for the imposing castle in the distance. In a majestic domed hall, light streamed through towering windows. Chae Seolyeon sat quietly, her blue eyes gazing pensively decisively into the void. She sat on a special throne, a mountain of corpses of recently slain gigantic dragon monsters. A small figure in a green cloak approached, looking up at her respectfully. Hatch, a member of the Thunder Hunters Guild, pulled his hood down, his face hidden in shadow. He broke the silence, asking, "What are you thinking about, Lady Shiru? It's almost time for the meeting."
Amidst the gloomy dungeon, Chae Seolyeon landed on the cold stone floor beside the corpse of a giant monster, her hair flowing with her decisive movement. She turned to Hatch, her voice sharp. "What is the progress on eliminating the fallen count?" Hatch, standing not far away, bowed his head and reported, "Nothing yet, ma'am. We haven't found any clues for the next mission." Hearing this, Seolyeon clenched her fist, frustration and disappointment clearly visible on her beautiful face. "I can't believe we let the Hydras outmaneuver us in the main quest line. It's a true disgrace." Hatch hastily added, trying to reassure her, "But I think we'll find it soon, as we're about to have a meeting with the leaders of the top 30 guilds." Seolyeon dismissed him with contempt, her eyes as cold as ice. "There's no way a meeting with those losers will be of any use." The harsh reply stunned Hatch, who could only mutter to himself, "So cold." Nevertheless, he maintained a respectful demeanor, advising with genuine concern, "Still, please be careful, Guildmaster." Without a word, Chae Seolyeon turned her back and strode decisively towards the radiant gate, her silhouette exuding an unshakable aura of authority and determination.